Okay, so this is something I have always thought about saying. It has been lording around in my head for years. Usually, I put down all my thoughts on a piece of paper. But this time, I decided that I'll just do a video and just see what everybody else thinks about it. So the first thing came to my mind as I was just sitting here and rambling, thinking to myself in my head was that I know who the first people was on Earth. I'm not talking about Adam and Eve. Technically, they wasn't the first people on Earth. If you think about it, it was others before us. But the thing that I was more thinking of was that how do we get from point A to point C? Because we always skip the middleman. But we never think about the interaction of point B. So, I was thinking, why Adam and Eve was in a nice little cul-de-sac where they eventually fuck everything up for everybody else. But on the outside of the great divine wall, what was there? Who was there? I think it was actually aliens. Well, technically not aliens, but other beings that was once considered maybe people. So my thought went like this. If Adam and Eve was in the Garden of Eden, which is God made them a personal little safe haven, who was he protecting them from, by the way? I thought about it. Maybe it was others outside of the great divine wall. Another creation that he created, but fell out of favor. So this is basically how the story goes in my head. Before he created Adam and Eve, there was other people on earth, essentially. Like everything great, they completely destroyed themselves because every man wants to be a god. But we all know no man can be God. They basically doomed themselves. They got great at technology quicker. Their brain worked at a 100% capability of our 50%. For those who have the 50% capability, some of us are working with 40% knowledge. But there's some people who got that 50% knowledge or their IQ is at least at 150 and above 200. It's the highest you can go. But they're still not a full 100% of the capability of your brain. Even dolphins and whales and sharks are using the full potential of their brains. They use more potential of their brains than humans are really actually using. But I'm off the topic. Back on the topic. So my first humans destroy themselves. Like I said before, they completely lost base of what they was about. Since they have this great mind to think for themselves, why not think of yourself as a god? I mean, who is better to run the earth than you, than destroying yourself for yourself? They destroyed everything that once was. They destroyed the basic knowledge that they were supposed to use to obtaining and captivating themselves. But instead of doing so, they took what they know, what they learned, and completely capsized the boat. They wasn't doing what they were supposed to do. You're supposed to plant your harvest, gather your harvest, and you pray to God. You give him all the respect and love that should be thrust upon him. Well, you know. Yeah, I'm not saying it right, so who cares? But anyway, I often thought about it as such. Man tends to throw themselves into chaos when it really was not supposed to be chaos. So upon this thinking, maybe that's what was on the other side of the garden that God didn't want Adam and Eve to realize, that it was turmoil on this end. I decided to make someone else, humans,